Here we can see the required skills by a project manager, right? So what skills that we need? The project manager should be able to study the people's behavior and motivations. So the quality of a leader could be being optimistic, being building the trust, good communication skills, being empathetic, being visionary. All these terms are from Pimbok, but they are not important for the exam. So all the qualities we have learned, and then finally the politics, power, and getting things done. The politics here exactly means what you're thinking. Politics is bad, I know, but you are in such a role that if you are not playing the office politics, you will be dragged by somebody else to play the politics. So you cannot avoid it. So Pimbok guide and PMI itself tells that you are to play politics, and politics doesn't have to be taken as quite negative. The PMI has defined politics as the ability to influence, ability to negotiate, and have autonomy and power over others. It sounds like a don, right? I know. Okay, moving on. Technical project management skills. So what does it mean? The technical project management skills, they require you to demonstrate on the topics like success of the project, the scheduling, the financial reports, creating the issue log. All these things come under technical project management skills. So as a project manager, we need to make time for planning and prioritizing the tasks. Moving on. Okay, what do we have here? We have the strategic and business management skills. Having the strategic and business management skills means having the ability to explain the business aspects of the project, and maximizing the business value using multiple strategies, right? So you have to use a lot of strategies and then maximize the value that the business that is going to get. Moving on, we have, what do we have here? We can find the key differences between leadership and management. So these two words are not the same. Leader cannot be the manager, and manager cannot be the leader. The main distinction is in the working style. So what happens is, and also before we go to the details of what a manager and a leader is, one is not above the other. So leader is not bigger than manager, or manager is not bigger than the leader. These terms here actually talk about the behavior of a person who is in that role. So managerial activities or leadership activities, they can both be performed by a single person, right? So a person cannot be bigger than himself. So the word management is more about giving directions to a person to get the things moving, and the word leadership here involves working with others, guiding them to get the work done. These are the typical terms. Moving on, let us see what are different types of leadership styles we have. So first style is laissez-faire. It actually means somebody who allows the team to take their own decisions, right? So that is one of the leadership style. Next is the transactional leader. He's somebody who is always rewarding for the work done. Give me something and take the appreciation. That kind of leadership is a transactional leader. Servant leader, the most important leadership style, which always comes into an example. I cannot stress enough about this. Please learn about servant leader before you sit in the PMP exam. Very important leadership style. And what does it mean? This type of leadership demonstrates commitment to serve and put other people first. So he is somebody who is always focused to make other people work easier by providing them with all the resources, and he maintains always good relationships with everybody on the team. So when a question comes, what type of leadership skill this is, you have to be able to identify that it is a servant leadership style. Okay, so it's very rare that you do not get a question without this type of leadership style. So bottom line, very, very important leadership style. Please have a look at it before you go into the exam. Moving on, the next kind is somebody who is always encouraging, transformational, somebody who is quite motivating and inspiring type. The next style is one who is always energetic. He's always energetic. He's very self-confident. People always look at him. He's always holding, like stronger convictions, that type. And finally, the type who is, kind of combination of transactional. He's some part transactional and some part transformational and some part charismatic. So he has the qualities which are mixed. So he's considered as a interactive type of leader. So these are some personality attributes of the leader. Again, you don't have to memorize them. Just take a feel of them. What personalities does a leader has? We are focusing on the leadership and not the management, because the PMBOK guide stresses so much on the leadership, right? So it wants everybody to move from management style to leadership style of leading a team. So give a quick read. What do we have here? The leadership should have authentic personality. He should be courteous. He should be creative, cultural, emotional. He should be intellectual. Managerial is also one of the quality at some times, because we cannot completely disregard this. And as I told, he must be political. Don't take this in a negative sense. A leader must be political. He has to be service oriented, social, and of course systemic. The reason I had to include these textbook terms here is just so that you don't miss the attributes that are given. They might come in handy in the exam. They might not ask you directly whether your leader is creative or not, right? So just keep these things in the back of your mind. Integration is all about linking the processes, right? So knowledge and people integrated to achieve the organizational strategic objectives with the help of the project objectives. So the process level, as we all know, we have 49 processes, again and again repeated. These processes, are sometimes done independent to one another, and sometimes they are clubbed together. Like 2 processes are clubbed, 3 processes are clubbed. So this kind of integration is talked about, and that is called the project or process level integration. What do we have next? Cognitive level integration. We all know cognitive means the knowledge. So it's all about integration of knowledge areas, right? So the project manager applies his experience, all his insights, and the business management skills, to combine the common activities across the knowledge areas. We have 10 knowledge areas. So he uses his skills to combine and integrate them, and finally to achieve the final results. Moving on, context level. Okay, so context is something larger than the project. So what happens here? In an organization where multiple projects are running, and also some historic projects are there, some new projects keep coming, or might even be some 4 or 5 projects are running in parallel. So the problems that are faced within a single project, they could also have occurred in other project, which the stakeholders from this first project are not aware of. So in one project they are handled very well, and the other project, the people from the other project don't even know that this kind of solution is already being solved there. So the project manager, what he does, he integrates such common problems, right? He always keeps interacting with the other project managers, and then he discusses these kind of problems. Like, look, hey, I had a problem and I solved it this way. So, or he asks, do you have such problem in your project too? Right? So if they already have a solution, we can implement it easily, right? So we don't have to reinvent the wheel every time. So it's all about that. So at the context level, integration actually benefits a lot at the organization level. Okay, integration and complexity. Complexity, the definition itself means complexity is something which is difficult to manage. So the project manager is going to identify the complexities of the project, and he tries to integrate them by identifying those key areas which could make them easier to manage.